Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. That's 1 Corinthians 15:33. And I'm Adam Barber. I'm the man of God at large. What that is saying is no matter how good of a person that we think we are, no matter what our intentions are, or at least what we tell ourselves what our intentions are, those evil communications are going to corrupt whatever good manners, good morals that you have. They're absolutely poison. The things that we say poison us and everybody around us. There's a reason that in recovery groups, they say to change your playmates, to surround yourself with new people. Because if you don't, if you're running with the old crowd and that's who you surround yourself with, that same sort of talk, that same sort of language, that same conversation that you always had in times past is what's going to be going on in the here and now. You're going to pick it back up again like an old familiar coat because it's what you know. And that negative self-talk, eventually, if it's entertained long enough and you keep it going and you talk with other people, you gas each other up and you're swapping war stories, eventually you're going to act on it because it becomes second nature to you. You've entertained the thought and the speech so long that when the opportunity presents itself, and make no mistake, it will, you'll act on it. I remember hearing this story years ago when I was in a recovery group, and this guy told me that someone had taken some money from him or something, and he was so angry at this man that he would talk about him in meetings. Every time he did step work with his sponsor, he would talk about it, and he said, if I ever see this guy, I'm just gonna waylay him, I'm gonna just knock him out. Well, years went by. Years, and this guy was sober, he was doing the deal, and he was a pillar in the recovery community, and he had moved past all of that anger and resentment, or so he thought. But he had talked about it for so long. He had just kept ruminating and reminiscing on it and rehearsing what he was gonna do. Eventually, this other guy walks through the door at the recovery meeting. And what does he do? Before he even had time to think, he popped him right in the mouth and laid him out. Now, he didn't have an intention to do that at that point. He had moved past all of that anger and bitterness and regret. But see, he had spent so long poisoning himself, corrupting everybody around him, talking about it, that when the opportunity came, he acted on it. Now, that's an extreme case, but all of us have the same danger. We can continue to talk to ourselves about all these negative things that are going on in our mind, all these negative emotions, all of the shortcomings and failures of everyone around us, and it absolutely poisons us. It poisons the relationships that we have with other people. It poisons our opportunities for tomorrow, to have a better tomorrow, to move past all of that garbage. So when you're talking to yourself, when you're talking to other people, listen to yourself. Listen to what you're saying. Is it really beneficial? Is it really building you up? Is it building other people up? If not, it might be best to work through all of this negative stuff that we have in the past and stop continuing to entertain it, to keep rehearsing it, to keep just carrying it around with us like an old piece of luggage. Deal with it and let it go. Bury it if you have to, but don't let it ruin your future. Evil communications corrupt good manners, and that means that's for you, just like it is for me.